Hey everyone, it's Nicole with Nancy's Notions, and today we're going to talk about 3 awesome specialty feet that each of you will need in your sewing room. The first foot I'm going to talk about is the flower stitch foot. This is a really handy device that allows you to make flowers, circles, and eyelets using just your regular sewing machine. You don't need to have an embroidery machine in order to do this embellishment. We want to apply the foot like this, making sure that the arm is on the needle bar. And then I'm simply going to tighten down my screw. Once the flower stitch foot is set onto the machine, I want to do a couple things. First, I want to make sure to drop my feed dogs. I've already done that. Also, your machine comes with built-in stitches. I've pre-selected a zigzag stitch. However, you can experiment with all of the stitches found on your sewing machine to see which one you like best. Now that my machine is all set up, I'm ready to make my circles. So what I'll need is a couple of spools of thread and some wonderful sharp scissors to trim away stray threads. Also, make sure that you have stabilized and starched your fabric. You want your fabric to be nice and stable so the stitches sit on top of the fabric instead of burying down inside. Also, it will help keep your finished project nice and flat. So I'm simply going to put my fabric under the machine. Then I'm going to load my first color. As you can see here, I'm starting at my smallest circle and I will work my way out. Make sure that your presser foot is down, threads are to the back, and then go ahead and make your first circle. Also, make sure that this screw is nice and tight so that your foot doesn't grow as the circle goes around. Once you've completed your first circle, put your needle to the up position, cut your thread, shift the foot over to the next position, make sure the screw is nice and tight. Go ahead, change threads, and proceed. Now I'm just going to clip away my excess threads. And there you have it, a cute little decorative circle. You can also make flowers and eyelets using this method. The next foot I'm going to talk about is the ruffler foot. This is an awesome foot. You can ruffle your fabric every 1, 6, or 12 stitches with this fantastic foot. It makes short work out of making ruffles. All you're going to do is install it on your low shank machine, making sure that this U is on your needle bar. Use your screwdriver to make sure that it's nice and tight. Then I'm going to make sure that my stitch is in the middle position and that my feed dogs are up or engaged. So go ahead and thread your machine with regular sewing thread. Now I'm ready to ruffle. So I want to make sure my needle is in the center position, and I also want to lengthen my stitch length to about a 4.5 or 5. You'll want to do a little bit of testing to see what your machine likes the best. So I'm going to put my fabric into the foot, making sure the fold of the fabric is nice and snug in this corner. I'm ready to start. Now remember, slow and steady wins this race. As you can see here, this part of the foot is pushing or gathering or ruffling the fabric into the needle. That's what creates the ruffles. So you want to go nice and slow and give your machine the opportunity to evenly feed the fabric into the foot. You want to make sure the cut edge of your fabric stays nice and flat in the curve of this foot. So you may want to stop every so often and straighten your ruffle to make sure that it feeds evenly through the machine. You can set your ruffle foot to 1, 6, or 12 by lifting and swinging over the arm. If you set your ruffle foot to 6, that means there will be a ruffle every 6th stitch. If you set it to 12, that means there will be a ruffle every 12th stitch. So if you want a ruffle with less fullness, you would choose to set your foot to a 12. If you want quite a bit of fullness, as you see here, you'll want to set your foot to 1. When you're done ruffling, simply cut your thread, lift your presser foot, and move your ruffle away. There you have it, quick and easy ruffling. The last foot we're going to talk about today is the Deluxe walking foot. A Deluxe walking foot is an absolute staple in your quilting room. This foot will help you easily guide multiple layers of fabric through your machine without shifting or bunching. You can also use it when sewing corduroy and velvet, as fabrics with nap tend to shift. All I'm going to do is apply my walking foot to my machine. Make sure you tighten down with the screwdriver. The next step is to thread your machine. Today I'm using 30 weight Katona thread because I really want to be able to see those stitches. Now that my machine's all set, I'm ready to stitch. I've drawn on a couple of guidelines for myself. As you can see, the fabric and the batting is flowing through the machine effortlessly. Even though I've marked out my lines, I don't necessarily need them because this handy guide bar will stay exactly in its spot, so I will stitch rows evenly every time. And there you have it, a wonderfully quilted project without any bunching or shifting. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you learned a lot about specialty feet. As always, please make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe below, and also share with your friends. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.